Britain's fair-minded pensioners have urged Sir Keir Starmer to back a compromise deal that would mean only the well-off losing winter fuel payments. An independent survey carried out for Silver Voices has highlighted the level of concern about the government's money-saving measure. Nearly 3,000 members took part, the largest response in the group's history, and 9 in 10 oppose the reforms that will leave some retirees £300 worse off. But they also overwhelmingly supported a possible compromise to protect older people on modest incomes, with 94% in favour of it being taken off wealthy pensioners paying higher rate tax. Silver Voices director Dennis Reed said, "Our members support the continuation of the universal payment, but they are not greedy. In order to provide a get-out for Labour, we suggest a new cut-off point for this benefit at the level of the higher rate of tax. We hope that the pressure from MPs over the next few days will persuade the government to withdraw the regulations and conduct a proper consultation and impact assessment on possible reform of the winter fuel payment, with the universal payment continuing for this winter." Linking the allowance to the 40% tax rate would mean more than 500,000 pensioners lost out. But it would reduce the amount the government saved from £1.4 billion to around £125 million. Director Dennis Reed said, "Defeat the attempt to scrap the winter fuel payment for 10 million pensioners, is the resounding call being made by thousands of Silver Voices members and supporters to their constituency MPs this weekend." MPs must search their conscience before they vote on the secondary legislation before Parliament next week, as this brutal policy would undoubtedly increase the number of excess deaths caused by cold-related conditions this winter. Even government supporters have agreed that the poverty level cut-off point proposed is too low. Silver Voices supports the continuation of the universal payment, but in order to provide a get-out for Labour, we suggest a new cut-off point for this benefit at the level of the higher rate of tax. We hope that the pressure from MPs over the next few days will persuade the government to withdraw the regulations and conduct a proper consultation and impact assessment on possible reform of the winter fuel payment, with the universal payment continuing for this winter. If Labour MPs vote against their better judgment next week, they will be placing their short-term political careers before the quality of life of their older constituents. "We were promised change, but not for the worst." Tories said Labour had to be dragged to the Commons, only agreeing to give MPs a say when they tabled their own motion on the issue. Labour MP Rachel Maskell, a leading campaigner, told The Express her focus in the coming days was on securing mitigations to protect older people who will struggle to heat their homes this winter. Ms Maskell has secured her own debate in Westminster Hall, the second Commons chamber, on Tuesday morning ahead of the government's vote later that day. She said MPs were really worried about the changes and her focus in the discussion would be on the public health implications. The York Central MP said, "If you are cold you are more likely to have a stroke or a heart attack or a virus. As a result of that, there could be serious consequences. The Treasury looks at it through an economic prism, but it should be looked at as a health issue." Labour peer Lord Foulkes said, "While I realised the government inherited the worst ever financial and fiscal situation and had to find ways of paying for unbudgeted commitments in the current financial year, this was a wrong choice. I have spent the last few days trying to get them to think again and will continue to do so. If they are unwilling to do so, they must look at all possible ways of helping those who will need help in the coming months, including a major new campaign on pension credit take-up."